Hi, this is Alex Kim of Seoul Speakers Bureau. Today, we'd like to have a wonderful speaker who has a great experience in his business, and it is good time to share with his story. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, Alex. Very good to be here. Chris, co-founder, CEO of What Three Words. We have divided the world into 3-meter squares and named each one with 3 words from the dictionary. So something like table, chair, spoon. We do this for all of the 57 trillion squares on Earth. We do it in English and Korean and 51 languages total. So it's a very simple concept, and that's what we do.
When I first heard about the What Three Words business, I think that, wow, what amazing. For me, it's kind of the very innovative way. And congratulations on your success. And even your service is provided in Korea with Korean.
Thank you. I mean, what we wanted to achieve was something very simple, that anyone from a child to a grandparent or in between could use it. We wanted it to be simpler than GPS coordinates, latitude and longitude. This was kind of the idea behind it. And I think it's a powerful idea. And what we're really looking to do is replicate our success in the UK, where pretty much everyone has heard of What Three Words. That is our similar plan for Korea. We want this to be a household name where everybody knows their 3-word address for that 3-meter square by their front door, and that everybody can use it with each other in day-to-day lives.
I'd like to give short questions to you. I've heard that you have a very interesting personal history. So you were in the music industry before, and of course you still be in. After you have some matters or some stories in music business, you build What Three Words. So there is a saying that necessity is a mother of invention. So my question is, what do you want to say to the young people who would like to build his or her business and have a success, but face some shortages on the way?
I guess my message would be, well, look, I came from outside the world of maps, outside the world of tech. I was a musician, that's what I did, that's what I studied, that's what I knew. And I just realized this problem, that when musicians, I was organizing bands to turn up to events, and when people needed to get to the back entrance, there was never an address that we could type in to get people to the back entrance. I mean, look here at Kintex. Lots of different entrances, but it's not clear how you specify the back entrance. And every day we went somewhere new. And so I was trying to get the London music business to use GPS coordinates, but they didn't want to. They said, Chris, can you think of something simpler? And so from outside the world of maps, I thought, well, yeah, I could build something simple. So I spoke to my friend, a mathematician, and we came up with this idea for What Three Words, and we wrote the algorithm. You know, lots of people in maps say that, you know, we don't follow the rules. We don't follow the rules of location systems. But I think coming from outside the industry is good because you don't even know what the rules are. And so I think my message to the young people who might be thinking about building their own startup are, great, like, come and break the rules, or don't worry about the rules. Like, it's not like you just have to be disruptive for the sake of it, but if you just design something from scratch the way that you think it should be built now, you're probably going to build something if there is a need for it. I think a lot of it after that is just the confidence and the drive to push through and succeed. You know, there's funding there. The venture capital community here in Korea is thriving, and it is very possible to make these things a reality.
As he mentioned, he is a musician and he worked in the music industry. But now, for him, the map is a very new frontier. And his success story will give some encourage the young people to build their own businesses.
Absolutely. I think everyone should go for it and try. What's the worst that could happen? So I would definitely think glass half full approach, an optimistic approach, and a lot of success normally comes from that.
For us and for everybody, the smart city also is very unknown area, and we didn't know that well what can happen in the smart city. But as you mentioned, even we are not in that area professional, but we can try.
Absolutely, and I think the world of smart cities, there's so many new pieces of technology coming in. You've got drones, you've got autonomous cars, robots, and these are pieces of tech which are really pushing the frontiers. And it's an exciting time to be in tech and all of these associated areas. So yeah, here and the things I've seen today and how Korea is pushing the boundaries is really impressive, and we're happy to be a part of it.
Thank you. So good. So I'd like to keep the matters, the keywords of the smart city. Back in 1996, when I first traveled abroad, at that time, I need to the map and just sticking my nose in the map, or I need to ask the people where is the right direction of the tourist attractions in Sydney, Australia. I have the navigation in my car, and even I walk in the street, I can have some help from the Google map. The next step is the autonomous vehicles. I can say that go home. I can take a nap. And when I wake up, I can find myself in front of my home. So in that kind of technology era, what kind of future the What's3 Words is preparing?
Well, I mean, you illustrate the point very well about how, you know, we used and we learned to use maps when driving, and how different it's going to be once, as you say, you can just get in it and say, go to home. For autonomous cars, the one thing we're thinking about, I guess, is that the one key interaction you're going to have with that car is, where do I want to go? And once you've given it the destination, you're right. You can sit back, sleep, and it'll be amazing once we get to that place. But all of the other times in life when we're going somewhere which is not home and not office, those are when we're going to have to be far more precise about location. Because think about now, like, if you put in a location and then, you know, the navigation tells you you've arrived, but then you're sort of in the road and like, well, I haven't arrived. And you go, oh, maybe I've got to go around there. That is not going to be possible. If your car's got no steering wheel and no pedals, you're going to be sitting there going, I haven't arrived and I can't do anything because I'm still in the middle of the road. And so I think that the cars, the navigation systems, and we as people are going to have to embrace a far more accurate way of describing locations. The exact same thing is going to be true for drones and delivery robots. You can't just put in a delivery robot and say, come to Kintex, bring my lunch to Kintex, because there are so many places here that you might be referring to. So something like What3 Words that gives you 3 meters of accuracy is going to be needed for that technology to really work in day-to-day life. So I think for all of us, we're going to have to all start embracing a new system. I'd love What3 Words to be that system. But what I think is true is that the addresses, the street addresses that we're using, invented a century ago, 2 centuries ago, were made for a very different purpose. It was made for sorting mail manually. It was made for land registration. But for the smart cities of tomorrow to really take off, I think that an ultra-precise location reference system like What3 Words is going to be at the heart of how we specify those destinations.
It is very helpful explanation of your business, and I can imagine that kind of a future very soon. I'm expecting that one. So as What3 Words do this, we can use that very freely without any barriers, and you can reach it a more better life with that kind of technology.
And I hope people do. I think it would be great for people to get accustomed to What3 Words. They can download the What3 Words app. They can find it in Kakao Map. You can do the long press on Kakao Map. You press the W3W button. So I think for us, it's about people just experiencing it for the first time, getting comfortable with it, and then starting to use it in third-party products like they can in Mercedes Korea. You can type it or speak it to your car. There are some of the emergency services here in Korea who accept it. So we want to build up this whole ecosystem. But I think the first way of encountering it is to go, yeah, what is my 3-word address? And people just come into the system and exploring.
For more information about the What3 Words, you can visit the website. Chris, I very appreciate you sharing your time today.
Total pleasure, Alex. Thank you so much for having me.
And I'd like to invite you as a speaker soon again.
Amazing. We'd love to.
Thank you.